Adam Pearce just suspended Bron Breakker on Monday Night Raw, and I am absolutely furious about this decision. The former World Heavyweight Champion has been indefinitely suspended from the Red brand for his brutal attack on the Raw General Manager, and the wrestling world is in complete chaos right now. But here's where this story gets absolutely insane. Pearce has now called Breakker back to WWE for a personal discussion, and nobody knows what's about to happen. Is this a reinstatement? Is this another punishment? Is Adam Pearce about to make the biggest mistake of his career? If you're not absolutely livid or confused about what's happening with Bron Breakker right now, then you missed the most controversial decision Monday Night Raw has made all year. Let me break down exactly what led to this suspension, because the context is critical to understanding why this is so outrageous. 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, Bron Breakker was in Adam Pearce's office demanding his rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship after losing to CM Punk. Breakker was heated, getting in Pearce's face, telling the Raw General Manager that he deserves his rematch clause immediately. Pearce, trying to maintain order on Monday nights, told Breakker that he'd get his rematch, but he needed to wait his turn because there were other contenders in line on the Red brand. Bron Breakker snapped on Monday Night Raw right there in that office. The former champion started destroying everything in sight on the Red brand. He flipped Pearce's desk over on Monday nights, threw chairs against the wall on Raw, and when Adam Pearce tried to physically intervene on the Red brand, Breakker grabbed him on Monday nights. The second-generation superstar lifted the Raw General Manager up on the Red brand and delivered a devastating spear that sent Pearce crashing through the office door on Monday nights. The sound of that impact on Raw echoed through the entire backstage area on the Red brand. Medical personnel rushed to check on Adam Pearce on Monday Night Raw as Bron Breakker stood over him on the Red brand, absolutely seething with rage on Monday nights. Security tried to restrain Breakker on Raw, but the powerhouse fought them all off on the Red brand, taking out 5 security guards on Monday nights before finally being subdued on Raw. The entire backstage area on the Red brand was in absolute chaos on Monday nights, and Breakker was escorted out of the building on Raw while screaming that he wants what's rightfully his on the Red brand. The following week on Monday Night Raw, Adam Pearce appeared with his arm in a sling on the Red brand, clearly still hurt from Breakker's attack on Monday nights. Pearce stood in the center of that Raw ring on the Red brand and announced that effective immediately on Monday nights, Bron Breakker was suspended indefinitely from Raw for his unprovoked assault on the Red brand. The crowd had mixed reactions on Monday nights. Some fans booed because they want to see Breakker compete on Raw, others cheered because he crossed a line on the Red brand. Pearce said that attacking management on Monday nights is a line that cannot be crossed on Raw, and there would be consequences on the Red brand. Now here's where this gets absolutely fascinating and controversial on Monday Night Raw. Just 48 hours ago on the Red brand, Adam Pearce sent out a statement on Monday nights that he's calling Bron Breakker back to WWE for a personal discussion on Raw regarding his suspension on the Red brand. The statement didn't say if this was about lifting the suspension on Monday nights, or if there were additional punishments coming on Raw. It just said that Pearce wants to meet with Breakker face-to-face on the Red brand this coming Monday night. The wrestling world is absolutely divided on Monday Night Raw about what this means for the Red brand. Some people think Adam Pearce is about to reinstate Bron Breakker on Monday nights because Raw desperately needs him on the Red brand. The ratings have taken a hit without Breakker on Monday nights, and fan engagement on Raw social media has dropped significantly on the Red brand. Pearce might be realizing that suspending one of your top stars on Monday nights was a terrible business decision for Raw. But other people think this personal discussion on Monday Night Raw is Adam Pearce setting a trap for Bron Breakker on the Red brand. Maybe Pearce is going to extend the suspension on Monday nights, or add additional fines and punishments on Raw. Maybe the Raw General Manager is going to force Breakker to apologize publicly on the Red brand, to humiliate him on Monday nights in front of the entire WWE universe on Raw. The power dynamics here on the Red brand are absolutely fascinating on Monday nights. Here's what makes me absolutely furious about this entire Monday Night Raw situation on the Red brand: the hypocrisy of Adam Pearce on Monday nights. Let's talk about all the times authority figures on Raw have been attacked on the Red brand with no consequences on Monday nights. Stone Cold Steve Austin made a career out of attacking authority figures on Raw. The Rock, Triple H, CM Punk, all of them have put their hands on management on the Red brand at various points on Monday nights. But Bron Breakker does it once on Raw and he gets indefinitely suspended from the Red brand. Where's the consistency on Monday nights? And let's address the elephant in the room about Monday Night Raw. Bron Breakker was absolutely justified in his anger on the Red brand. He lost his World Heavyweight Championship on Monday nights in controversial fashion on Raw. He's been asking for his rematch clause on the Red brand for weeks on Monday nights, and Pearce kept giving him the runaround on Raw. The frustration that led to that attack on the Red brand was building for weeks on Monday nights, and Pearce shares some of the blame for not handling the situation better on Raw. Now let's talk about what could happen when Bron Breakker returns to Monday Night Raw for this personal discussion on the Red brand this coming Monday night. Scenario 1 on Raw. Pearce lifts the suspension on the Red brand, reinstates Breakker on Monday nights, and schedules his World Heavyweight Championship rematch on Raw. This would be the smart business decision on the Red brand because Breakker is a draw on Monday nights, and keeping him off Raw TV is costing the Red brand money and viewers on Monday nights. Scenario 2 for Monday Night Raw on the Red brand. Pearce extends the suspension on Monday nights, telling Breakker that he needs to learn respect on Raw before he can return to the Red brand. This would be the authoritarian approach on Monday nights, Pearce flexing his power on Raw to show the entire Red brand roster that nobody is above the rules on Monday nights. The problem with this scenario on Raw, it makes Pearce look weak on the Red brand because he's punishing Breakker for his own failure to manage the situation on Monday nights. Scenario 3 on Monday Night Raw, and this is the most interesting one for the Red brand. Pearce offers Bron Breakker a deal on Monday nights. The suspension gets lifted on Raw if Breakker agrees to certain conditions on the Red brand. Maybe he has to beat a series of opponents on Monday nights before getting his title shot on Raw, or maybe he has to publicly apologize on the Red brand, or maybe Pearce puts him in increasingly dangerous situations on Monday nights to prove himself on Raw. This creates storytelling opportunities on the Red brand that could last for months on Monday nights. But here's the scenario that nobody is talking about for Monday Night Raw on the Red brand. What if Bron Breakker refuses to meet with Pearce on Monday nights? What if he shows up to Raw on the Red brand but instead of having a discussion on Monday nights, he attacks Pearce again on Raw? What if Breakker decides that he doesn't need WWE on the Red brand, that he can go to AEW or New Japan on Monday nights and become an even bigger star without Raw holding him back on the Red brand? The nuclear option on Monday nights could completely change the wrestling landscape. The business implications of this Monday Night Raw situation are massive for the Red brand. Bron Breakker is a second-generation star on Monday nights. He's got the Steiner family legacy on Raw. He's young and talented on the Red brand, and he was being positioned as a future franchise player on Monday nights. Suspending him indefinitely on Raw damages his momentum on the Red brand, potentially derails years of character building on Monday nights, and creates uncertainty about his future on Raw. From a pure business standpoint on the Red brand, this suspension makes no sense on Monday nights. Let's talk about the locker room reaction to this Monday Night Raw suspension on the Red brand. Multiple Raw superstars have been posting cryptic messages on social media about Monday nights, with some seemingly supporting Breakker on the Red brand and others supporting Pearce's decision on Monday nights. There's clearly a divide in the Raw locker room on the Red brand about whether Breakker went too far on Monday nights or if Pearce is being too harsh on Raw. This internal conflict on the Red brand could lead to more storylines on Monday nights. The fans are absolutely split on this Monday Night Raw situation too. Online polls about the Red brand show that roughly 60% of fans want Bron Breakker reinstated on Monday nights, while 40% think he deserves the suspension on Raw. The comments sections on the Red brand's social media are wars between Breakker supporters on Monday nights and people who think he crossed the line on Raw. This controversy is exactly what WWE wants on the Red brand because it keeps people talking about Monday nights. Here's what I think is really happening behind the scenes on Monday Night Raw with the Red brand. This entire suspension on Monday nights is a work to build sympathy for Bron Breakker on Raw. Think about it on the Red brand. Before the suspension on Monday nights, some fans were turning on Breakker on Raw because of how he lost the championship on the Red brand. But now on Monday nights, fans are rallying behind him on Raw, seeing him as someone who's being screwed by management on the Red brand. This personal discussion on Monday nights is going to be the start of a massive push on Raw. The ratings implications for Monday Night Raw on the Red brand are going to be huge on Monday nights. The announcement of Breakker's return for this personal discussion on Raw has already generated massive buzz on the Red brand. Social media engagement on Monday nights has skyrocketed for Raw. Wrestling websites on the Red brand are speculating non-stop about Monday nights. This segment on Raw is going to draw eyeballs on the Red brand, and that's exactly what WWE needs on Monday nights in a competitive television landscape. I'm predicting that this Monday Night Raw segment on the Red brand is going to be the highest rated segment of Monday nights. Pearce and Bron Breakker in the ring on Raw, the tension thick on the Red brand, the entire WWE universe waiting to see what happens on Monday nights. And I think it's going to end with Breakker getting reinstated on Raw, but with conditions that set up his road back to the World Heavyweight Championship on the Red brand over the next several months on Monday nights. But here's my controversial take on this Monday Night Raw situation for the Red brand. I actually think Pearce should keep Bron Breakker suspended on Monday nights for at least another month on Raw. Make Breakker earn his way back to the Red brand on Monday nights. Have him appear in vignettes on Raw begging for reinstatement on the Red brand. Have other superstars on Monday nights plead his case on Raw. Build the anticipation for his return to the Red brand to a fever pitch on Monday nights. Then when he finally comes back to Raw, it'll mean so much more on the Red brand. I want to hear your thoughts on this absolutely controversial Monday Night Raw situation on the Red brand. Drop your comments below and tell me what you think Pearce should do with Bron Breakker on Monday nights. Smash that like button if you think Breakker should be reinstated immediately on Raw. Subscribe to WrestleSphere with notifications on, because we're going to have full coverage of this personal discussion on the Red brand when it happens on Monday nights. Should Breakker be suspended or reinstated on Raw? Did he go too far attacking Pearce on the Red brand? What conditions should be attached to his return on Monday nights? Is this all a work or is there real heat on Raw? And most importantly, where does Bron Breakker go from here on the Red brand, whether he's reinstated or not on Monday nights? Let me know everything you're thinking, because Monday Night Raw is about to deliver one of the most intense and unpredictable segments on the Red brand, and whatever happens on Monday nights with Bron Breakker and Pearce is going to have major ramifications for Raw's future.